Hello, good people of YouTube, Lucky Mies over here, and this time we're gonna review Iron Blood Submarine U-1206 or 1206, but however you want to pronounce it. But this is the, if you know history about the German submarine, this is the only submarine that actually managed to fail its mission just by, how should I say that? Malfunctioning plumbing system. You can actually, to put it simply, malfunctioning toilet. So what is the U-1206? Well, 1206 is a Type 7C submarine, and the how should I pronounce it? This history. She was laid down 12 June 1943, launched 30 December 1943, and commissioned 16 March 1944, but her fate is scuttled due to accident on 14 April 1945 in the North Sea near Peterhead, Scotland, and position blah blah blah, 4 dead and 46 survivors. And I read this from the Wikipedia, and the I was actually wondering what type of emblem 1206 has. The emblem is described a white stork on a black shield with green peak and legs. I'm not sure how long she was managed to be operational. Well, according to this, she managed to do only one patrol and none victories. Go figures. Yeah. She had unlucky history service closely to the end of the war, and another quote here in our German submarine U-1206 on the Wikipedia. German submarine U-1206 was a Type 7C U-boat during World War II. She was laid down on 12 June 1943 and went into service on 16 March 1944. The submarine was scuttled in 14 April 1945 after being attacked by British forces after she was forced to the surface by problems arising from a malfunctioning plumbing system. Well, I will lay down a couple of Type 7Cs and Type 7C41 pictures right over here, because there's an U-995 Type 7C dash or slice or dash 41 at Labuan Naval Memorial near Kiel, to give you some kind of perspective how did the Type 7 submarine looked like. I don't know what difference is the Type 7C41 variation in U-995, but nevertheless, she had very unlucky and very short war career, and it is somewhat reflecting in the game itself as well. I'm gonna focus on her health, torpedo, perhaps oxygen, and the active submarine range. So her base health is 1289 if you don't out her and increasing her stats by 3%. Her torpedo is 505, the lowest of all submarines in the game. She goes, according to the Azur Wikipedia, in level 125. She's the lowest, way below Nautilus as well, although 557, 556, 110, Bluegill, Torricelli, Nautilus, and 1206 has the lowest torpedo stat compared to all submarines. 505. So it's not packing a punch, unfortunately. Now then, what else? Yes, her oxygen is 198 points, meaning she can stay closely enough to 20 seconds underwater. But that will bite. We will go to that soon. Now as for her submarine range, you can clearly see it is shaped like a toilet. Some kind of meme in the Azur community. Now as for her, yes, I almost forgot the gears. Her torpedo stats, their efficiency 125 and 120%. Very common. And her main gun is just for decorations. It can do something, but it's not impressive. I gave her auxiliaries the improved snorkel, giving her more oxygen time and improved storage battery to increase evasion. Now, excuse me. As for the skills, that was an accident. Decreases the ship's oxygen by 10 points. If this is max leveled, it is 10, but if you do not level up this to the 10, it will stay very high to the 20. When this boat resurfaces and excuse me, when she retreats from battle, increases this boat damage dealt by 15%. While this boat is retreating, increases this boat speed by 50%. Now this is a historical relation that her plumbing system malfunctioned, so she was forced to surface. And yeah, she had to be scuttled after getting hit by the British forces. But although her oxygen is lowered by 10 points, and the increasing her damage dealt by 15%, not bad, and increasing speed by 50%, you're just zooming away from the battlefield, so that might increase some type survivability. And the very classic Wolf Pack. For each airborne submarine in your fleet, increases this boat's torpedo, reload and accuracy by 6%. Probably 12% if she is not accounted. But if she is accounted, probably perhaps 17 or 18%, I'm not sure. But I'm not gonna calculate that. As for her character design, Well, it is very fascinating. You can actually see some type of... I don't know. Is that a giant fish? Or a shark? Just a skeleton shark over there? But if we focus on the character itself, let's hide the background. If we focus on the character itself, it is very rather simple design. Although her rigging is, in my personally, I always thought she's some kind of very high type variation, but because she's a type 7C and the artist did some very interesting job creating a rigging like that, I always tend to think, always end up thinking, oh, she might be a, let's just say type 9 or higher design, but no, she's a type 7C submarine. And very simple design. And of course, she has the maid outfit to the cafe. Only skin this far. Perhaps didn't get much. And oh, because of the toilet malfunctioning in her war career, that is now part of her personality. And some kind of very young personality, perhaps? Like, I don't know, what's the correct word here? But anyway, what can I say about this submarine? I guess that's all I can actually think of. Very simple and easy to use. But how should you play her? Now that's a question. Now that's a question indeed. But I still have to admit that because of that accident, it now reflects on her personality in the game. So that's gonna be a one side thought that makes me smile once in a while. Now as for the hunting range, because of its unique shape, I think I'm gonna use her temporarily as a flagship in a very interesting fleet that contains U-96 and U-31. Now other than that, I think that's all I can actually think of. Let's now go my final thoughts about this very fascinating submarine in the Iron Blood submarine fleet. Alright, commanders and YouTube people, Lucky Miss Voice over here, and yes, U-1206. Now, yeah, I think just because how she is built in the game might actually reflect her unlucky wartime career. And one thing I noticed is that her submarine range actually, it might be good if you actually just stop and think and take a look into the hunting range. If you have the 1206 in your fleet, or actually you can check on it in the Azur Lane wiki, and you can see the range. Although it is shaped like a toilet in level 5, you can actually use quite a good amount of its range in the left side, mostly, and somewhere on the middle too and below it. There is nothing wrong about it. It is very decent, good size range. The only downside is the empty space above right corner. And one of my test runs with 1206 as a flagship, well, I had one ammunition left on a submarine fleet and I wanted to use submarines in the flagship fight. I have to move submarines. Very unlucky situation. I had to spend a lot of oil just to get the submarines usable, literally next to the flagship in a map 13 was it, where Tai-Ho is the final boss. That's the only downside I have with the with this submarine. Although, just the range. It is good size, but the empty space right over the corner, right corner above. Yeah, it's not easy to use. You have to actually, if you want to use her as a flagship, the enemy boss fleet of the flagship must spawn left side of the map, either top or the below left corners, so you can actually make this range more usable. And here, that was an accident. Decreases this ship oxygen by 10 points. Yeah, it might be a downside. But when this boat resurfaces and when she retreats from battle, increase this. When she retreats from battle, increase this boat damage dealt by 15%. So, there is an option how I would use her, other than just a flagship. I would find auxiliaries and best torpedoes I can find in the game, give her those, and once she retreats, her damage dealt is increased by 50%, so you can actually do best amount of damage only then when she retreats. And because this, while this boat is retreating, increases this boat's speed by 50%, which is actually good, making sure that she doesn't get quite a lot of hits. But as usually, once the submarine resurfaces, she then stays there for a while, and after those few seconds she will then retreat. So it's a little bit gamble, we'll see survive or not. It's a slight gamble, but just to, if you want to fully utilize her, it just increase her this boat damage dealt by 15%. That's the only thing she's good at. But if you actually want to increase her survivability, like I did, I gave her the improved snorkel that gives her just 8.5 seconds more time underwater. So activating this skill, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but at least she is giving more torpedo salvos in the fight. Rather than... Well, you can... Well, there's a... As I mentioned, there's another gameplay option for this. As I mentioned, find her the best auxiliary equipment that increases her torpedo stats and either damage. And of course crit rate like a dagger. The augment module. So... she could be something like... in World of Warships terms, shotgunning. And shotgunning in World of Warships is like you go next to the enemy warship, just in range that the enemy ship has no idea you're there, but gets notification he's detected. And you send full torpedo salvo towards the enemy ship and then retreat. And once the every torpedo hits the enemy warship in that range, very close range, and I mean close range, it's gonna deal magnificent damage if every torpedo hits the enemy warship. So that's the shotgunning. But in Azur Lane, the shotgunning idea is well, not well described, but this slightly reminds me how this behaves. You surface and retreat, and your damage dealt is increased by 15%. So I don't know. It just reminds me how this works. Reminds me the World of Warships shotgun trick. But your speed is 50% increased. Other than that, no wonder, if I recall correctly, when she first time was released, she was described as a collection ship. Because 1, she has quite a low torpedo stats. 2, her skills are underwhelming. And 3, her stats alone too is slightly underwhelming. Now, when she comes back, I don't know. You can try to use her if you don't have her. Now, where to actually get this very interesting submarine? I don't know yet. Tower of Transcendence. Ah yes, the Sagan horse meta. Okay, and the Ulrich von Hutten, if I recall. Yep, that's the event. Rerun was in 2024. Well, it's gonna be a while she's available again. No, wait. Excuse me, scratch that. Wrong. Oh, I apologize. She's on a merit shop. Just 8,000 merit points. She's available. Apologies. I was way ahead of myself. Apologies. Now then. Is she worth it? Perhaps. I don't know. At least you have some option to have some kind of very way different submarine compared to the usual ones we know. She offers way different gameplay, that's for sure. But because I am Iron Blood man, I'm not gonna let my bias to win over this argument. But she really some kind of represents the shotgunning idea. Stay underwater, rise, while you retreat, your damage increased. So you're literally throwing everything in just that few seconds when she retreats, just to increase her damage dealt. So yeah. And of course you must take into account the oxygen time. If you don't give her snorkel, her oxygen time is in base 19 seconds and closely to 20 seconds. So keep that in mind too. But I think that's all I can actually think of about 1206. A toilet meme submarine. My name is LuckyMears2005. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to have some more notifications, please remember to hit the bell icon. Other than that, please take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you in the next one.